Hello and welcome back to another episode of In Case You Forgot. We are so happy to be back. International break was an absolute depression disaster. So happy to be back. Looking forward to our match tomorrow and what's to come. Let me take a look at the comments real quick. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Atherton's watching. Hello, Tom. And our friend Paul says he's forgetting again. I think he's making a joke about the show title, which is perfect. That's exactly the kind of interactions we want. So
I actually really needed that to get the juices flowing. But
okay.
we might as well just start off. If you haven't seen the first episode, this show is based off a point system. Costia and Alan will be competing to win over our lovely judge, Charlie. Charlie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been warming up with the judge again. Last time I was just walking down the street judging people's practice. Lucas, this time I've been watching Vine compilations on YouTube and judging the uploaders by the quality of the Vine compilations.
Well, homework next week. I need you to watch some good old American Judge Judy. Can you do that?
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I could do. I got you. I got you.
She's got no emotions.
Yes. No emotions. She's very yes and no. If you say anything else, she's not about it.
You're the judge. I'm the bailiff. I'm just sitting over there like this. But I actually have more power than you, which is crazy. Yeah. All right. And then we got Alan. Alan, how are you?
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Are you ready to?
Yeah, ready to win again.
He's not winning again. We're not allowing this. Charlie, I need your help here.
Listen, just nail the arguments. You'll be fine.
Exactly. Costia, how are you?
I'm great. Is it raining where you are, Lucas?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're not that far away from each other then, because it's pouring over here. But it's one of those typical DC area. We have storms that are very brief. It rains for an hour, maybe two. So hopefully they won't be raining in time for the DC United match, which I'm going to.
Well, hopefully that
with the family at 7 in a little bit.
Well, hopefully that will motivate you to bring a little more effort this episode to try and win, since
absolutely
you're not on the board.
I'm motivated. Yet. I can't be 0-2. It's not okay.
We'll see about that. I have yet to use my overpowering rule over Charlie to give anyone points, and I feel like today might be the day. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of energy I have today. All right, let's start it off. So, for our first topic, we're gonna go for our match tomorrow against Everton. We got the early match. UK, that's 3 p.m. No, noon. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus. All right, we are gonna start with our starting 11. We pretty much know. We all have a good sense of who's going to be there, but there has been a recent topic of discussion between Ogbonna and Diop to be paired with Zuma in the back, and everyone's made their case. Everyone said their piece. There's right, there's wrong, in my opinion. We will start off with Costia. Who do you think? Actually, let me get my timer real quick as I'm talking. In 2 minutes, you'll talk to me and try and convince Charlie why Diop or Ogbonna should be paired with Zuma for next match and or moving forward. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go.
Your time starts now.
I mean, it's obviously Angelo Ogbonna in it. He's been with us for 5 or 6 years. We got him from Juventus. He's an Italian international. He's been solid for at least 2 seasons. I know he's had blips on his radar where he hasn't been as awesome. Maybe under Pellegrini, actually, I think is when he was probably at his worst. Look, I'm part French. I love Issa Diop, but I want him to acclimate a little bit more slowly because he has had howlers in the past. He'll be consistent for 20, 30, 40 minutes, but then he'll have just these moments that are absolutely cost us points, frankly. So, for me, Ogbonna is the more solid. He's a veteran. He knows what he's doing a little bit better. He's been playing longer. He's not out of his prime yet. He's still, I believe, only 32. So in a year or two, do I want Diop to overtake him? Yes, I don't want Diop to go anywhere. I think that Diop could be a 60, 80 million pound player with some consistency. But I do think Ogbonna is the better player right now. And I think that Moyes is going to probably agree with me and start him tomorrow. I do really love what Issa Diop's doing in the Europa League, and I think that that's where he should stay. Obviously, he's doing a lot better with Zuma and Areola, Frenchmen. They're probably speaking French at the back rather than English, which I think is very helpful for Issa Diop because I think he's a little bit lost sometimes. And I think if Craig Dawson's yelling at you in broken English, it's just not going to be as effective as Ogbonna and Zuma together. I don't want Dawson in there either. I would love to see Diop continue to play in the Europa League. Zuma honestly can play in both competitions. That's a matter of fitness
15
there.
seconds.
But yeah, it's Ogbonna all the way for all the reasons I stated.
All right. I'm sorry. That was absolutely cheeky of you. They're definitely speaking French in the back. Rather than Craig Dawson.
Especially if you've got
English.
Masuaku at left back as well, which must be really freaking confusing for Vladimir Sufal, who's like hearing a bunch of French and he's barely caught on to English. So
I didn't even get a chance. I wanted to ask midway through it's too late now. This is not going to go towards your point for Charlie. Well, no, I can't overrule if I want. But I was going to ask if you're worried about Ogbonna's lapse of form the past couple matches.
I don't think I've seen a lapse of form. I don't think Ogbonna's been better or worse than anybody else. I wouldn't say he hasn't been the reason another team has scored. So I would disagree with that.
All right. Well, everything after what you just said now literally has no difference in your point. So, Charlie, erase all that from your head. Alan, you are up. Give me 2 minutes on why you think either Ogbonna or Issa Diop should start with Kurt Zuma tomorrow and or moving forward, starting now.
I'm going to agree with Costia on everything he said.
My.
Yeah, I have the same view. Ogbonna should be the one starting for now, and Diop continuing to play in the Europa League and the Cup games. It's just because I think we need someone with experience at the back to be next to Zuma, who's just coming into the side. And with potentially Sufal out, we just need to have someone who's going to be a stellar defender, just in case something breaks down, just in case Johnson starts at right back with both Sufal and Fredericks out potentially. And that's it really. For the future, it's Diop, because Ogbonna is going to eventually leave and end his career at West Ham. But for now, it's going to be Ogbonna unless he gets injured or drops his form to the point where he's just not going to be playing well enough.
Gotcha. Are you done?
Yeah. All
right, time. I do want to say Italians, they age like fine wine. We all know that. They get better with age. I am going to insert a question here for both of you to add to your points, because Alan did bring up a good point that I totally forgot about. If Sufal does not play tomorrow, does that or actually no. If Sufal does play tomorrow, or if he did, whatever the case may be, would that persuade you more to maybe play Diop instead of Ogbonna? Costia? Okay.
No, sorry, I'm muting just for the sake of sound clarity and audio quality, whatnot. But no, Sufal being there or not doesn't change my opinion that Ogbonna should start this season. It doesn't affect me. I know he's more of a veteran, but I think Diop should be allowed.
What about for tomorrow?
No, not at all. I don't care who it is.
Okay.
But if it's Ben Johnson or Fredericks, I want Ogbonna in there even more. Because if you have someone who's slightly less consistent at right back, we need the veteran in at center back.
What about you, Alan? If Sufal were to play tomorrow, does that hinder your opinion on Diop or Ogbonna?
Well, the thing is, both Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin are out. So technically, they're going to play Rondon. So it doesn't really matter who plays.
I like that.
I guess keep Ogbonna.
All right. Charlie, that was a very jam-packed topic. That's my fault. I hope you were able to ignore what Costia said the latter half of his
I've already
time.
forgotten. I've already forgotten.
Good.
Don't even know what you said.
I spoke for 2 minutes. That last 10 seconds shouldn't really matter here.
Yeah, I've already forgotten that bit. It's fine. The 2 minutes is what I was concentrating on. The second I was told not to take it into account, I zoned out, Costia. I was looking out of your window. I was looking at the blue wall. I was vibing the cut. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't concentrating. Both people I felt like make good points there. I think it's probably fair to say a point for each early stage. This one, I think. I would personally give it. I think I would say Diop. The one thing I would disagree directly with Costia on is I do think there has been a form drop from Ogbonna so far this season, not by a significant amount, and I don't think significantly worse than the rest of the team. I would agree with the point that he's definitely not the reason we've dropped any points. Definitely not. I wouldn't say that by any stretch of imagination. I just don't think he's been up to the form he has been in recent years, and I think that's fair because he had a 2-year period where he was absolutely stellar every single game almost, and then before that, he was very off and on in terms of form, and we're seeing a little bit of a drop, and that's okay. It happens. It's going to happen at some point. It's just about coming back on the other side of that. But I would make the argument for Diop, and the only reason I would, Diop's definitely going to be here next year. Diop's definitely going to be here there next year. As much as I think we would all agree here, we would want to see him play more in the future, and he could go for big money. He's never going to go for big money unless we play him more, and he starts fulfilling that potential, and he's never going to get there unless we start playing him. So for me, I would make the case for Diop in that sense. But when it comes to Costia versus Allen, I'll say 1-1. I think that's a fair assessment on that one.
You know what? Because I'm in charge, Charlie, I'm going to give you an honorable mention 1 point for yourself as well.
Yes, I'm no longer going to give anyone any more points. This round, we're getting a big tiebreaker 1-1-1. Love that.
I might have just thrown a wrench into the whole thing, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, you just added a row in the Excel spreadsheet for yourself to keep track of points. I don't know why you would do that, but
you got to bring the heat. You don't know. Charlie might win today.
Charlie
somehow.
Gets points now. No, that's not how the game works. No. He's already the judge.
Just make sure you bring the heat.
And points holder. I'm like player manager. I make the calls and I get the goal. Do you know what I mean?
You're gonna have to start calling me Mr. Chairman.
Of course, Mr. Chairman. No stress.
Oh yes, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr.
No
Chairman.
water off my back, Mr. Chairman. That's fine with me. Yes or no, sir. 3 bags full, sir. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
All right, we will move on to our second topic. Another heavily discussed topic of the past, I would say, 3-4 weeks is our beloved Thomas Souček, who, he is like a quality Ford engine. He's a quality Ford engine that will go on for as long as you can take it. But down the road, there will be a few kinks and damages to the engine that will make him slow down, and you might not want to drive him anymore. So, with that being said, given his recent form and the amount of games that he's played for club and country, should Alex Král be considered to start tomorrow? And or, let's say, we have another international break, right, in 4 or 5 weeks?
4, yeah.
So, for the next 4 matches, or 8, whatever we have, do you think that Alex Král should be considered more to start over Souček to give Souček legitimate rest? Because the last time Souček got rest, everyone says he got rest, but I saw him play 35 minutes in Europa League. But that's neither here or there. I want to hear everyone's opinions and arguments. Alan, we are going to start with you on that, and your time starts now.
Oh, it's a tough one. It's a really tough one for me because as much as Souček's form hasn't been good recently, and we were talking 2 weeks ago about potentially selling him and all of that stuff, I don't think Král's ready enough to play in the Premier League to the level Souček, even when out of form, is playing right now. One thing that would sway me towards starting Král is that Král is a former centre-back, so he would be more defensive, which would allow Rice to play more in a more attacking role. And I think that's how we should really set up for the future. And on the other hand, we're playing against Everton, and their midfield is a really, really tough one to beat, because you have Allen, you have Abdoulaye Doucouré, and both are in a fantastic bit of form this season. So it's a really tough one, and even if I wanted, I couldn't make a decision. And Moise is probably thinking the same thing for now.
All right, and I'm gonna ask you this as well. Do you think with Rice starting to make more forward runs, do you think that could be hindering or throwing a wrench in the philosophy for us, with Souček getting caught out sometimes and having to track all the way back? Because we all know he is not the fastest player on the pitch, but he does run for miles and miles. Do you think with Rice moving forward, do you think that might be a problem with his form?
It's which one of the two players is more important for us. And
Okay.
if you want to make Rice play how he wants to play, you change Souček. But if you want Souček to be the one roaming forwards, then you have to tell Rice to stop doing that. And that could lead to him leaving. Because if he feels he's being limited in terms of his style of play, and that he can't progress anymore, he's going to eventually leave for a bigger club.
I like that. Charlie, what's your early analysis on that? Let me just see where your head's at. Just give me something brief.
It's an interesting point. I think well, I'll save what I think the right answer is, I guess. But Alan's raised some interesting points there, certainly. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to give Costia the blueprint for the points here.
Is my last question that I asked Alan fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Ask something similar for Costia. Make sure he has the opportunity to retort, sort of thing. But I think that's a fair question.
All right, Costia, you ready?
Right. I mean, I'm going to go with the old adage: if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. But I think that's what we've done, anyways. Right. And I think David Moyes has a bit of a catch-22, as you might say, or maybe a catch-41 in this sense, which is that Declan Rice is the best player at the squad. You want to keep Declan Rice here as long as possible. You don't know if we're going to have new owners who are going to pay him and bring in more talent and change the porta cabins out for proper facilities. And so you have to be creative in how you make him happy. And so the conversation is almost really about Declan Rice and how we're using him. To me, when we qualified sixth for Europa League, a couple points and a couple bad refereeing decisions away from being fourth and in the Champions League, and really a Declan Rice injury away from that as well, you wouldn't want to change what was working. And what was working is Thomas Souček bombing forward and getting, was it 10 goals, 8, 9, 10 goals overall in all the competitions? Now, I don't know if he's capable of doing that every season, but we're not going to really know if you've changed their roles. And I think the reason we've changed their roles, and the reason those pundits on TalkSport and Sky Sports who say Declan Rice is really a center back are idiots, is clearly the guy wants to go forward. Clearly, he scored a couple goals for us already. Clearly, he's been working on his dribbling and his shooting, and that's gotten a lot better over the last 3 or 4 years. And so now you've got a situation where you've got the actually possibly more gifted player who was cementing the defense moving forward, and you're asking Souček, who's really like a white Kouyaté, to be more defensive, and I just don't think I trust him. But I don't trust Alex Král either, because I haven't seen him play there nearly enough. I know he had a bad Euros, and then I've seen him play for us, and that's all I've really seen. To me, the answer is there is no answer, and just play whoever's most fit and least tired. And so Alex Krall does need to come in, but it's more of a fitness issue rather than a do I think he's better than Souček at the moment? My answer is I don't know. I haven't seen him enough. And so really it's whoever's fit should be the twosome in the middle.
All right. And because you went over by like almost 15 seconds, I'm going to give Alan a chance. It's just a little side question. Fandom aside, Alan, fandom aside, we all obviously love Declan Rice. We all think he's a great player. But do you think he has earned the right with a free license to roam in the position he plays? Do you think he's earned the right to just bomb forward whenever he wants?
Honestly, I have no idea. Probably I'd say yes, because as Costia said, he's the best player in the squad. So you want to make your best player even better.
Costia, I'll be fair. What do you think about that question that I asked?
I mean, I already kind of answered it because I went over my time, right? That's why you gave Alan the extra time. So I'm not going to repeat myself. Charlie's a great listener. He heard what I said. And I agree with Alan. Yes, he should be allowed to bomb forward because that's what he wants to do. And that's what'll make him happy. And that's what'll keep him here. As Jack Wilshere said, you should be staying here and be the captain and be the talisman. Well, the talisman isn't just a defender. The talisman also has to score sometimes. So,
all right.
Yes.
Enough said. Real quick, I want to give big ups to Jackie boy. Put in the good word for Declan. I love that. You know, I did not really fancy Jack's time at West Ham, but he is slowly making up for it with his beautiful comments on TalkSport the other day. Charlie, please give me that sweet gospel.
Okay. Both people making good points again. I don't think Declan Rice has earned the right to go forward. In fact, I think he needs to stop going forward. He's not good at it. He makes some nice driving runs occasionally, but my God, my man keeps shooting from like 30 yards. And I'm like, bruv, you're not hitting the target with any of these. You scored one screamer and it was great and we loved it. Please, can you stop now? Because guess what? It's not happening again. Deal with that fact. Stop just taking random punts from outside the box like you're flipping Ronaldinho in his prime, fam. You're more like Emil Heskey. Please jam. Okay? I don't like it. His key attributes, he's a great defender. He's so good at covering. And we've seen in the last couple of games when we've cut this conversation about Souček is raised, and that's because we're facing teams who are going to press us, teams who are going to push us, teams who are going to give us trouble. They're pressing that double pivot, and Rice is dropping back into that defensive role, and you can see the awareness there. He knows what he's doing. You can see the positioning. He's really good at that. He's not good at going forward. Souček is. Please stop. But we know that's not going to happen because, as Costia said, you know, it's almost a situation of how do you keep Declan Rice happy, and he called Souček the white Chiarte, bro. Declan Rice is the Chiarte. He's a good defender, but my man wants to storm forward, and it's like stop it. But you know, I think I'm gonna say 1-1 again. I don't want to, but both people raised good points. I've said some of the points that Costia raised there. I think one of the things I liked about Alan's answer specifically was talking about Krall a little bit more and saying about how he used to be a centre back, so he's probably got that defensive capability to allow Rice to go forward a bit more. Because that's sort of what you're looking for, is someone to allow Declan Rice to go and miss another shot from 30 yards.
You know, that gospel is so good. I want to almost give you another point just to make things interesting. But I like what you're doing. We're setting ourselves up for a nice game winner, buzzer beater at the end. That's my prediction as a betting man. But you know, Charlie's full of surprises. I don't know what's gonna happen. But I agree with all of you actually. Obviously, we all love Declan Rice, but
yeah, but he gave Alan the point, didn't he?
No, he gave both of you the point.
Didn't you give Alan the point?
Oh, no, both.
Lovely, wonderful. I thought that I was being criticized. I
can take the point off you if
no,
you
please,
want.
please.
I don't mind.
I'm trying to even the score here.
I'm taking.
No.
Right.
I just.
All right.
Say uncle. Say it.
Uncle.
All right, there we go.
We'll leave it as 1-1.
All right, moving on to the topic 3. It is slowly approaching the worst. You know, everyone has their opinion. I hate the January transfer window more than the summer. Obviously, I know.
Yes. Shut it down. Kill it.
I know the summer. It's long. It can be very agonizing. But like the January transfer window, I feel like is just set up for disappointment. Like it's like you have Christmas, and then they're almost setting us up like, oh my gosh, you might have a second Christmas. You might have more gifts. And you know what? I don't buy that, big man. I don't buy that. So with this third topic, January transfer window, obviously very close. And there's been lots and not lots, but the speculation's already starting with two people. One, which I don't even know how to describe our feelings for him right now. Me personally, I still do really like Jesse Lingard. He's, of course, being rumored to us. There's been reports that he has denied and rejected a new contract at Man United, per Man United sources, whatever you follow, Man United report, whatever the hell it is. And then I'm pretty sure we've been linked with Torino striker Andrea Bellotti for the past 2, 3, maybe 4 windows, both for around 15 million pounds. Obviously, one would be worth it. One seems like kind of a heist and a fleece, but I expect nothing less from that so said club, which we will not mention, even though I already did, but no free publicity here. But if you could choose one, let's say we do buy both of them. Both of them are worth 15 million pounds. If you had to choose only one, and this could be your preference, what you think is best for the club, whatever. If you had to pick Jesse Lingard or Andrea Bellotti to join West Ham in January, Costia, which player are you picking and why, starting now?
Yeah, well, first let me just say that the January transfer window is a bit like a Jake or Logan Paul fight. It sounds like it's going to be entertaining, but then when it actually happens, it's massively disappointing and
the money's worth
time.
It.
And you don't understand why you got excited for it in the first place. But the answer here is absolutely Jesse Lingard, because it goes back to my point of keeping Declan Rice happy. Also, we don't really have any success with Italian strikers, do we? It tends to go really awful. In fact, bringing players from Italy at all. We haven't done it well since is it Paolo Di Canio? Like, I really can't think of a person that we brought from Italy to play a forward position that went well for us. So yes, I do like Andrea Bellotti in a sense. He seems like a tough guy. He seems a bit like a mercenary at times, but look, I don't want him because I think that Jesse Lingard is the answer, because Jesse Lingard is for chemistry, for camaraderie, and you know, he can play center forward. We've seen him do it. We're doing all right with Bowen and Yarmolenko as alternatives. I would rather spend my money elsewhere at the striker position rather than Bellotti, because again, I'm just not sold on Serie A players coming over to our club. It doesn't really go well. It's either okay or it's an absolute massive failure. And Jesse Lingard is going to bring a smile to Declan Rice's face, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. So my answer is definitely Jesse Lingard. And please, more Instagram pictures with the toddlers on your shoulders and West Ham kits. That stuff makes me melt. So Bellotti's not going to do that. So Jesse, all the way.
Big ups to his daughter Hope for the claret and blue mug that she painted. Big ups. She knows. But time's up. I will ask you this quick question though. Even so, with Jesse Lingard, do you think if we were to, I mean, we're probably not going to, but if we were to purchase him in January, do you think that'd make the midfield crowded at all?
No, because we train by porta cabins and we have lots of injury issues, and historically players get hurt. I think Fornals can play deeper in the middle. I think Lanzini's been playing deeper in the middle. I think Bowen's inconsistent. Yarmolenko's inconsistent. And we've only got one striker. So absolutely not. It doesn't make things crowded. Lingard can play a false 9 as well, as can Benrahma possibly. So no, I don't think so.
All right, Alan, you're up.
For me, it's Bellotti, because one, I don't care about Lingard anymore. Like, I'd be happy with either, and if we were to buy Lingard, I'd be happy because obviously he was very good for us. And the £15 million deal is I think it's worth his ability. But for me, it's Bellotti, because I've seen Bellotti play multiple times, and I've been following him since Pellegrini really wanted him in 2018. And he's just the type of striker I think we need. He's like Antonio in terms of being aggressive, in terms of finishing, in terms of strength. He's just a very, very good striker, and with the way we play, with the way Moyes puts emphasis on athleticism and just physical strength, he just would be incredible, I think, for us. And going back to Costia's point of not wanting players from Serie A, didn't you want Weston McKennie, who plays in the Serie A?
I'll pause the time. Costia, you want to interject on that?
Weston McKennie also played in Germany, and he plays for Juventus, which is the top side in Serie A. We're talking about Torino here. It's apples and oranges.
All right. Alan, continue if you have anything else to say.
Going back to the original point, I'd be happy with either. But if I had to choose with a gun put beside my head, it's Belotti.
All right. I like that. You can never go wrong with that analogy. Charlie, please.
Just a cheeky shot across the bow there. Using the time to go, hang on. Let me just raise you on one point there. Because I'm glad you made the differentiation there, Costia, between the rest of the league and Juventus. Because I was going to say, obviously, the last player who joined from Serie A that did well was Angelo Bono. We literally just spoke about him, and he came from Juventus, obviously. But I'm gonna give the points to Alan here. Not because of the shot across the bow, although I want to see this one. I want to see this one. Not because of that, because I just agree. I think Belotti's the guy. As much as I do agree with the idea of us needing to focus on squad harmony and unity and all that sort of stuff, we need a full squad to be doing that, and we still don't have one. We need a striker quite badly. And I do actually agree with Lucas's point of the idea of, well, not his point, but Lucas's question. I like the idea of.
Have I entered the race,
bro? You're getting a point. You're getting a point as well. I like the idea. I just think we have a lot of people in those positions right now when we don't have a lot of people in other positions, and a lot of people who are very good. We already have Nikola Vlasic just sitting there, and as much as we know Lingard can come in and make it work. For me, we need another striker significantly worse than that. So point goes to Alan, and then a cheeky point for Lucas as well, I believe.
Chairman on the board, eh?
Mr. Chairman is on the board.
And if we're doing some honorable mentions, Charlie's got a point, I got a point. But right now, heading into topic 4, we have got Alan in the lead, 3-2. But we do have a little bit of a double question, double discussion. Mm-hmm. Charlie could give some double points. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's up to him, but really it's up to me. But I'm giving the power to him. But I got all the power. So heading into our last topic before we head on out, give me your Everton in. Is it Gank or Jank? Does anybody have a proper pronunciation for me?
I think it's Gank. I've always said Gank, so let's just go with Gank.
It's actually Ganak.
No, it's more likely Henk, because it's the Belgian.
Thank you.
It's probably like, Flemish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Charlie, keep that in the back of your head for me, please.
What was it? One more time.
Henk.
Hey, okay. If you refer to them as anything else, already just you're at risk.
Right? Yeah, you will get deducted if I don't hear Hank.
Yeah.
I didn't have any phlegm there. No phlegm. You
got to load yourself up before you do it. Steady the ship and then hit a quick Hank.
Should we go Everton points and then Hank points, or should we just put it all into one?
I back that. Let's split it up. Point and a point.
All right, it's a battle to the end. Alan, give me your give me your overall prediction for tomorrow. What do you want to see? What do you expect to see? Scoreline starting now.
Scoreline. I think we're going to win. I really don't see Everton scoring a goal even because of Richarlison and
Mind
Calvert-Lewin
you, we
out,
never
like I
win at
said.
Everton. Ever, ever,
Ah,
ever.
I
I
don't
just want to
care.
throw that out there.
We're going to win finally. And at
Love
the
that.
end of the day, even with Ducouré scoring goals for them, even with Andres Townsend somehow hitting form,
True.
no Richarlison and no Calvert-Lewin is such a big hit for them that I don't see them working well in attack. Because if you even watched one game of Everton with Rondon playing, it's like West Ham this season or last season and West Ham against Oxford United in the cup. It's an incredible difference, and with Rondon they're just awful. They're just not good enough in attack for me, and with them being so high in the table, I think they got really lucky in certain games. So for me, it's a 2-0 win for us.
2-0 away at Goodison.
Yeah.
You know, I like the bravery. I like the confidence. You never want to go into a match thinking you're tin pot. Love that because we're massive as fuck. Costia, please give me that sweet gospel.
Sure. I mean, I'm not going to say anything that different from Alan. I think where I disagree is I think we'll manage to let in a goal somehow. But I actually think we'll score more. I'm going 3-1. I do think their, lack of striker options is really going to affect them. I still it's us. So we'll find a way to let James score, even though he's in Qatar or wherever. So, and also, not having Soufal, that matters. But I'd be surprised if Soufal doesn't play. I know he missed his Czech Republic game. I feel like that's a game time decision. But I know that Michail Antonio is well rested. I know we don't really have any injuries at the moment, and all of that has me very optimistic. And maybe it's also because I know that it's the big Fado derby, as we say here, where all the Everton DC area fans are going to be at the bar with us, and I just want to crush their souls. So I just expect a big win. I don't care that it's away. I think Moyes is going to out-tactic Rafa Benitez. My only concern, really, and the reason I think we might let a goal in, is Moyes is going to, again, start Fabianski when it really should be Areola in between the sticks. So 3-1 for me.
All right, time's up. I would like to bring up real quick, Chris Poole in the chat does bring a great point. We did win last year at Everton 1-0, Souček deflection, but no fans. Me personally, I'm not counting that. Behind closed doors, pretty much. Charlie, please.
Bold there to not include probably our best season in a long time because no fan. I like that. I listen. I respect the purity, the competition.
It matters. We all know it matters.
It matters. Do you know what? I'm going to give the point Costia here, and I think it's I agree with a lot of what Alan said, and I like the fact we've deep dived here on some Everton form. We're talking about Rondon. I strongly agree with that stuff. I quite like Rondon. I think he's all right, but it's very much
that is a Charlie Walsh player right there.
It is a Charlie Walsh
Solomon
player. You are very correct about that. But it feels very it will do for now. And obviously they haven't got much choice right now. They would obviously prefer to play Cavaliers. So I agree with a lot there, but I can't discount them completely. And it's not because of the Fabianski thing. I did almost go 1-1 because of the Fabianski comment, because I don't think he's that much of an issue. But I'll stick with the guns. I'll say 1 for Costia there. But it could all change, Lucas, depending. It's all coming down to pronunciation here. If someone slips up, that might be it. That might be game over. We're tired going into the final thing here. And if we don't get full Hanks on display, then there may be an issue. It may be an issue.
Kieran is right. I did just wipe out all last season because I'm in charge.
Love that. Mr. Chairman is in charge. Mr. Chairman is in charge. What he says goes.
Everyone gets raises.
Oh, love that. Love that.
All right, Costia, give me your. Oh, gosh, I can't build up the phlegm to say it.
Just steady yourself a second. Think about it, and then hit it with a Hank.
Hank.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's close enough. It's not accurate, but it's close enough. You know.
All right, and for the Hank prediction, Costia, I would like you to give me some sort of predicted lineup for tomorrow, and then how you think we'll line up on Thursday, and a result will do. So your time starts now.
Sure. Well, when it comes to the Belgian club, I think that we're going to have a different lineup here. But, you know, what you have to understand about Genk is that they have lost their last 2 matches. And in both of those matches, they had red cards. And so if I'm doing my math correctly, one of those matches was against Dinamo Zagreb. So there has to be a starting player on Genk who will end up missing the game, and they're already not exactly, I mean, they're a Belgian side, so I'm not thinking they're going to be Anderlecht from the late 80s here. And we've got so much confidence in the Europa League. It's like we're a different side. We go out, I mean, we are a different side, and you want my 11. I mean, the difference is, of course, we'll Sassuaku. We'll see Areola, who we should really see for tomorrow, but that's my, little thing there. We'll probably see Yarmolenko, and Yarmolenko's on fire for Ukraine. So maybe for once, because we're playing Genk and not Manchester City, maybe Yarmolenko will show up. I think, Antonio will be rested, even though he didn't play for Jamaica. I just think that's the safe thing to do. He might come on, at the very end of the match if it's a close game, but it's not going to be. We're going to beat them 4-0. Easy match, lots of confidence for us. 4-0, no problem. I mean, look at we beat Zagreb, and Zagreb beat them 3-0. So I just have very high expectations of this game. Noble to probably play as well, but I don't think that hurts us against 15. A club like Genk, and that's it.
Oh my God, Charlie! I know you felt that fire.
That was a big one. That was a big answer from Costia.
I misled you on purpose when I said the Belgian club. You thought I was going to say that the whole time, didn't you? Yeah, I saw you put your hands up. I had a plan.
And then you unleashed the beast, and the beast roamed free, my friend. Big place, big place.
Oh my gosh, I'm not going to say Alan needs to bring the fire, but my God, big man. All right. Alan, give me a quick projected lineup for tomorrow, and how do you think the lineup on Thursday will look with the result? Starting now.
I mean, it's going to be a usual lineup of us in the Europa League. So Areola is going to play, Diop is going to play, probably Zuma is going to play, unless Moise wants to give the broken Englishman some game time. Masuaku should start over Cresswell, and I really want him to start over Cresswell. I even could potentially see him scoring for his second time ever for us. Lanzini should play, Vlasic should play, Yarmolenko should play. So it's going to be an attacking setup, and as Costia said, Genk are bad. I've seen them play a few times this season, and compared to last season, where the big 6'7" Paul Onuachu, who was linked with us, was banging goals like he just wanted to annihilate every opposition he was against. He became unsettled at the club because of our interest. So this season he's just not the same player, and if Onuachu isn't playing, their team just falls apart because they just don't have an outlet up top. So I'm going to go for a 3-0 win, not as big as Costia said. I can't see us winning 4-0 because with Rapid Vienna, who even an awful Ajax side a few years ago could score 2-3 goals. We beat them 2-0, and they are a poor side.
All right.
We can. Yeah, I'm going for a 3-0 win with Masuaku goal.
All right, I like that. So I highlighted Kieran's comment about Yarma needs a yellow kit. We can all agree with that. And I'm going to ask this around the room because I have been saying this for at least the past 4 weeks. Why doesn't this bloke play in yellow boots? If he played in some yellow boots, I put it on everything. He would score a hat trick on Thursday. He would.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Do we all agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, if Alan's gonna make a score, like a specific who's gonna score thing, out of my 4-0, I'm gonna say 2 of those goals will be Yarmolenko. That's where I'm gonna stretch myself. I just think he's due, and I think the last couple matches that I've seen from him, he's put in. We talked about this last show, much more effort, and so I think he just cares a little bit more. He wants to earn a good salary from Dynamo Kiev next year. And so he's putting in a real shift, and I think he could score a couple. And
Alan,
I agree with the yellow boots. Of course, that would make a lot of sense.
Alan,
you can put the Ukrainian flag on the side.
You want to rebuttal real quick with who you think your goal scorers will be with your scoreline?
With 3-0? I mean, it's a long shot with Masuaku, but I'm going to stick with it. Could see Yarmolenko score if he plays, and he should play. So I'm going to say Yarmolenko as well, and then Rice again, because he's going to go for 3 out of 3.
I'll tell you what, the bookie will love you if you put some money on Masuaku to score. But I would love to see that. Charlie, please give us the final breakdown. Who's gonna win? Are they both gonna come away with points? Am I gonna win? Are you gonna win? What's going on?
We haven't decided if draws are allowed. Maybe that's a thing.
There could be a bonus question. We have about 3-5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll say this. In general about the match, I'm less confident than both of them. Although I think they both have full reasons to be. For some reason, I'm a very calm individual. When it comes to most football matches with West Ham, I'm incredibly chill going in. But for some reason, these Europa League games are shaking me up. I'm scared, Mr. Chairman. I'm scared, and I think
like the Jordan Hugel transfer that shook me up.
It shook me up to my very core, and I think it's just because I think we have a habit of underplaying and disrespecting teams in Europe because they play in lesser leagues because of this, that, and the other, and then they rock up and absolutely do us because they deserve to be in the league. They deserve to be in Europe, and we sort of fumble our way in. Although we sort of proved that wrong this season, but there does remain a lingering doubt in my mind. There does remain a lingering doubt in my mind. So no one said anything. No one said like the answer I would say. So I can't give points based on that. Is what I'm saying, Mr. Chairman. I can't give points based on that. And the listen, we could go down the line of a tiebreaker, but I think, and I want to know if you agree with me. I'm sort of looking at you here, Mr. Chairman. I'm looking towards you, and I think the fire and that was wrought upon everyone. No one was prepped. I think you just have to give it the respect it deserves. I think it's a point to Costia.
Sadly, or not sadly, because I do love Costia. He is my brother. I do love him. But he did bring that absolute fire, absolute passion merchant, some Big Six clubs would say.
100%.
Or Pig Six. Like they would call our beloved Mark Noble passion merchant. No. Quality. Jordan, they would say Jordan Hugel's a passion merchant.
And they'd be wrong.
Wrong.
My favorite thing about Jordan Hugel is he told us in the media how much better the Norwich facilities are than ours. That's my favorite contribution from Jordan Hugel. Speaking the truth.
We've got better porta potties than them.
An honest man. An honest man.
All right. Charlie said it. We're going to give the point to Costia because he was a man on a mission that last topic. He came out with absolute fire. And now the season series is 1-1. Alan won, Costia won. It's good to get things drawn up.
Massive final round.
Does anybody have any lasting words before I say thank you to all the chat?
I was
No.
going to argue because of my Hank contribution, but Costia deserves it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm impressed, and I miss my bachelor days when I might have had time to watch a few Hank matches myself, and I certainly don't have the time for that. I barely have the time for the Prem. So that's pretty cool, Alan, that you still have you're young enough, you have the time, and I mean, of course, you are, a football
Just
journalist, so but that's pretty cool. I don't know why you would watch 90 minutes of Hank, but you did, and you came prepared.
just an absolute bender of a night hungover. I'm gonna watch Hank. I'm gonna watch Hank today. I absolutely love that. I mean, you're talking to an MLS guy. Watch it religiously.
Charlie,
yeah.
come quick. The Hank game is starting. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
The team's getting cold. Hank's playing.
Yeah, we have to watch them play Eupen or RFC Sarang or STVV. There's a club in Belgium called STVV. Sounds more like a STDD to me.
Oh.
I've never heard of them before. Good thing I made that joke after all the points were awarded, because I certainly would have lost a point for that. But, thank you. There's a lot of engagement in the chat today, more than we had for our debut, which is normal. It's a debut. So I can't name you all individually because I'll miss someone, but thank you to everybody who's in the chat, who's been speaking to each other, speaking to us. You really made the show what it is, and we hope to have even more of you next Saturday.
I'm gonna give them a proper go. But Charlie, you got any lasting words for us?
Come on, you Hank. You know what I mean? Big plays all day. Let's go.
And real quick, we just want to say thank you to everyone in chat: Tom, Paul, Kieran, James, Hammers Fan United, Chris,
E20 Zone TV.
That's James.
Oh, is it? Okay. Jawar.
Yes, Jawar. And that's it.
And we can't really see the Facebook people from here, I don't think.
Yes, thank you to Facebook. Thank you to anyone watching on Twitter. We will see you guys next Saturday. Hopefully we come away with 6 points. If we win on Thursday, I think we might seal ourselves in the final 16. What do you say, boys?
Yeah. And if we win by 2 tomorrow, we're in 5th.
Yeah.
Bloody brilliant. All right, everyone. We will see you next Saturday. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great work week. Thursday can't come soon enough. Let's get 3 points. Let's get 6. Come on, you Irons.
6.